Hey guys, Dr. Decks here. Today we are setting some Regal Ideas hand railing. We're getting ready to install all the posts. So follow along and see how we do. If you like what you see, please don't forget to click that subscribe button and hit the bell icon to be notified when we're putting out new content, which is usually 3 days a week. All right, so basically what we have is we have our layout done for our railing. We're doing Regal Ideas textured black picket hand railing. So we've laid out all the posts. They're all being installed right now. And then once that's done, we'll start figuring out our top and bottom rails. I think we've probably already done these videos before, but this is a construction update, not so much an instructional. You're just gonna come along and kind of catch the reviews on what we're doing, how we do it, so on and so forth. So hope you guys enjoy this video today. All right, so basically what we've got done since the last time you saw us is this staircase. We finished up all our trim, I think the last time you guys were here, but we've framed and installed all the staircase framing, and then we've completely installed all the treads, all the fascia, all the kickers, all the risers. There's actually a lot that goes into a set of stairs. I think it turned out really nice. One thing that we like to do is we like to do a double stack fascia look. So we used a piece of 7 1/4 inch multi-width AZEK decking for our top layer of the trim for our stairs, and then we ripped down a piece of their fascia board. It's a 1/2 inch by 12 inch. This particular stair we cut down to 8.5 inches to cover up all the framing details. There's about 1.5 inch underhang that hangs below the framing of the stairs, but that's so I could cover up this one board so it doesn't look good. I've done it before where I didn't cover it and I was like, So, and then also something kind of cool that we did was we did some mid-span staircase, like a support, and then we put some X bracing in. And this X bracing is mandatory because this staircase really was wobbling back and forth quite a bit, more than I wanted it to, for sure. So once we installed this X brace, it eliminated the wobble. So I don't have to worry about trying to tie it in somehow to the existing deck or anything like that. It's nice and solid now. We put them on adjustable footing blocks so we could raise and lower them a little bit if we wanted to, just to give them a little bit extra tension and just keep things nice and tight. So that's all completed. We G-taped the top of all the stair treads. We G-taped the fronts of all the risers, and we G-tape the sides of the 2x12s. Anywhere we're putting anything for finish work, as far as cosmetically, we cover it in G-tape before we install it. So it gives us some longevity and protection against moisture decay and that kind of thing. Over the years, this board that's sitting up against the treated lumber inside of the staircase, whenever you get two boards together, one's natural wood, one's PVC or synthetic, the water gets in there, it gets trapped, and then it festers and starts to dry rot things. But if you put a protective layer on the wood side of things, then it helps keep the moisture between the wood and the PVC, which will, in theory, last longer. So we'll find out in 30 years. All right, as we get closer to finishing up our projects, I usually make some kind of a list, and I always call this a punch list. So our punch list is something that we can go over and remind ourselves, oh yeah, we gotta do that. Oh yeah, we gotta do this. And as we're building the deck, I add to it and go, oh man, I can't forget to put this cable up. Like we had this cable hanging down because we tore the deck apart, and it was just hanging down here, and it's just the little things like that. We got to fill this hole full of concrete. We got to do this. We got to do that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go over some of the punch list items with you and show you kind of what we did and how we do it, because these are the little things in deck building that we don't really show a whole lot. So I thought I would spend a few minutes showing you guys some of our punch list items, because they're just as important to me as the finished work on the outside of the deck. All the little stuff that you forget to do, and then the client's like sitting out on their deck 6 months later looking up and they go, what the heck is that? You know, because we forgot to tighten something up or finish it. Okay, the first crossed off part of our list is called a tension tie. So these are a lateral tension system by Fasten Master, and they are code required. Even though this deck was a remodel, and we didn't build this deck from the ground up, we only extended portion of the deck and then cosmetically changed it, we wanted to go ahead and be responsible deck builders and add these lateral tension ties to the deck. So If you look over here, you can see the bracket. So what that does, there's a couple different ways to install them, and there's a couple different brands. This brand is by a company called Fasten Master, and you have to have 4 of these on a deck if you use this style of lateral tension system. They're code compliant, easy to install, they're ACQ approved, and each kit you get contains enough products to complete one deck. So basically, if you look on the picture, you can install them underneath the joist. The whole goal is to actually tie into the sill plate that is at the base of the wall inside the house. There's different ways to do that. We're not going to get into all that today, but it's one of the things that was on our punch list. So we got those installed. Those were not installed originally on this deck. So in an earthquake situation, if the whole deck wants to pull away from the house, those are going to help keep it because it's tied into the sill plate of the house. Okay? All right. Bubble fascia. What bubble fascia means is there was a bubble in the fascia somewhere that we didn't like it was bowing out. So we had to go back and pull a piece of fascia off. Oh wow, there was a shim that we had used in the upper section of the fascia, and so it was holding the lower set of the fascia from being able to go flat. So we had to take the lower section of fascia off, cut the shim, and then we were able to put the fascia back, and now it's flat. We had to caulk all the doors on the house. That's all done upstairs. We had to add some trim for the beam. Let's go check that out. So basically, if there's something cosmetically I don't like the way it looks, we'll add a little extra trim on it. And in this instance, even though the existing deck had a trimmed back beam section, we added some 2x4s to the side of this beam, and it didn't look so clean right here. So we just furred it out with a little bit of composite decking, and then we put a piece of matching PVC fascia on the outside of it just to make it look nice. And then we also, on my list, paint the end grains. So in the corners of the deck, you know, I'm kind of an anti-miter type of guy. I don't do a whole lot of miters. I like to butt join a lot of my stuff because when you're using PVCs, miters don't like to stay together in the corners too often. So we like to face screw those and Cortex them. So we paint the end grains to make them look nice. Clients were very happy with that. I have a lot of followers that maybe on Instagram mostly, other deck builders that don't really care for how I do it, but then I have a whole new wave of people that are like, you know what, I really like that. Like it or not, it's my style, and that's what I decided to do, so I kind of like it. Install the cable, got to that, and then trim down some G-tape on the rim joist. Like sometimes when we G-tape a lot, G-tape hangs down, and we don't really like the way that looks, so we like cut it back and trim it up after it's all said and done, just to make sure we don't have anything wild hanging out. That was our punch list. The only thing left on it is some 2x4 corbels that we have to add because the old deck, the staircase came down right next to one of the posts, so they didn't put their V corbel in this one spot. So it's the only place on the deck that doesn't have one. So we're gonna go back and add some 2x4s into that so it looks like it was original to the deck. Besides that, that's all done. And now, like I said before, we're just working on our hand railing and trying to get that buttoned up. I'm mounting the universal angle brackets together that are going to go on the stairs. These brackets are made 2 different ways. One way, you can use them vertically up and down for staircase, and then, or you can use them horizontally like this for angles on surface of the deck. Today we're using them as staircase angles. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you learned a little something about our Wriggle Ideas railing. We don't have all the time in the world to video, so that's all you get today. You'll have to come back next time to catch the final effect of what we're trying to do here today. So thanks for watching. Please don't forget to click that subscribe button, hit the bell icon to be notified when we're putting out new content. Like our videos, please, and leave a comment. I haven't really been replying to many. I haven't really been replying to too many of them lately, and I apologize for that. Between all my other social media channels, it just gets a little difficult to keep up with everyone. I will do my best to get back to your comments in a less than timely fashion, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Leave me those comments. Over and out.